Here we have the Omega Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch. This watch right here is the Sapphire Sandwich version, which originally came on this stainless steel bracelet right here. I switched it to this nylon bracelet with a fold over clasp because personally it looks more casual to me, which is a look I was going for. Now, the reason why this watch is called the Sapphire Sandwich is because it has a sapphire crystal on the front as well as the case back. There is also a Hesselite version. The main difference is that it has a Hesselite glass instead of a sapphire crystal on the front and has a steel case back. There are some other differences between the two, and I'll point them out throughout the video. This watch has a 3861 caliber, which is the new and improved hand-wound chronograph movement and can be seen through the transparent case back. The back also has the first watch worn on the moon etched into it, which you could see at the bottom here. And if you didn't already know, now you know it was the first watch worn on the moon. This watch design is inspired by the 4th gen Speedmaster that was worn by the Apollo 11 astronauts on the moon on July 21st, 1969, making it one of the world's most iconic timepieces and one of the reasons why I really love this watch, but mainly because this chronograph looks sexy as on the wrist. The Speedmaster is 20 millimeters between lugs from here to here, 47.5 millimeters lug to lug from here to here, and 13.18 thickness from here to here. It has a stainless steel case with a 42 millimeter diameter from here to here, an aluminum bezel with a tachymeter scale, a stainless steel bracelet that is polished and brushed. Let me pick that up. As you can see here, these links brushed, this link is polished, brushed, polished, brushed. And the Hesselite version comes on an all brushed only bracelet. So that's another different for the Hesselite version. This has a 50 meter water resistance. And I just want to note that there's no screw down crown. So personally, I wouldn't wear this in the water. But if you don't press any buttons and make sure this crown is fully pushed in, you should be fine. This is a mechanical watch, so it is manually wound and has a 50-hour power reserve. We have a loom-filled conventional hour hand and minute hand. Hour hand, minute hand. The subdial located at the 9-hour position is the small seconds hand right here, which is not part of the chronograph function and is actually the seconds for the display time. The crown has 2 positions. Position 1 is the closed position and for winding the watch, which you just turn the crown clockwise like that. And that winds the watch. And then position 2 is for setting the time. This is position 2, pop it open, and it moves the hour hand and the minute hand. For the chronograph function, you have the start and stop pusher on top of the crown, right here, and the reset pusher below the crown, right here. You have the long skinny hand with a point at the top, which is the chronograph seconds hand, right here at the 12 o'clock position. A subdial located at the 6-hour mark, which is the chronograph hour recorder right here, records up to 12 hours. And then the subdial located at the 3-hour mark is a chronograph minute recorder right here, records up to 30 minutes. So setting this watch is really straightforward. To start, let's say you're setting this watch for the first time, and since it's a mechanical watch, to get this watch ticking, you need to wind it. So just turn the crown clockwise until it stops winding. Do not force the wind. Once you start to feel some tension, stop. This will give you a 50-hour power reserve. All right, once fully wound, pull the crown out to the second position and set the time. Let's say it's 3:30. Boom. 3:30, guys. And that's it. You just set your Speedmaster. Make sure to push your crown back in. Now, 90% of us will never use the chronograph function. We really just like to watch because it's sexy as f. But just in case we end up in space and have to time 14 seconds exactly, or we crash, let's just learn how to use the function. The chronograph is used to measure the elapsed time, so it's basically just a timer. So, for example, we're on a 10-minute break at work. We will hit the start pusher above the crown to start recording the time, like this. And now the chronograph seconds hand is moving. The chronograph seconds hand will count the seconds. The subdial at the 3-hour mark will record the minutes. The subdial at the 6-hour mark will record the hours. But in this example, we only really need the subdial that records the minutes. So once the little hand hits the 10 over here, we reach 10 minutes. So we will hit the stop pusher, like we'll act like it really hit the 10-minute mark. And just like this. And boom, your break is over. Hit the reset button below the crown. That'll reset everything back to 0. And it's as simple as that. Now to the tachymeter. What is a tachymeter? It's a function in the watch that allows one to measure average speed, given that the distance covered is known, with a max duration of 60 seconds. The speed is read with the chronograph seconds hand against the tachymeter scale on the bezel. All right, let's do an example. We want to see how fast we can drive a car 1 mile. So if we're on a highway, we would push the start pusher once we pass a mile marker, like this. And then push the same pusher to stop the chronograph seconds hand once we pass the next mile marker. So we're gonna wait for this mile marker to hit the 30 seconds mark. So give it 10 more seconds. So now we're coming up in the example. Let's say we're passing the next mile marker right now. We would hit the stop button, the stop pusher, and it took us 30 seconds to go from the first mile marker to the second mile marker, which means we were going 120 miles per hour. Now, to avoid confusion, this works for any units per hour, as long as you keep the units the same. For example, you can also use kilometers per hour because the distance covered will be in kilometers. Or you can use a tachymeter to figure out how many tasks you can do in 1 hour, like fold a t-shirt. If it takes you 45 seconds to fold one t-shirt, you can fold, let's see, let's go to the 45-second mark. Say this, oh, let me reset this. There we go. Say we hit the start button, start pusher, and the chronograph seconds hand goes around until we get to 45 seconds. You could see that it would equal 80. So you can fold 80 t-shirts in 1 hour. Now, if you're asking yourself, how does this all work? Well, that's just math, my friend. And all right, guys, that's it. If I missed anything important, leave a comment down below and let me know what I missed. Also, I hope this video was helpful, and congrats on your new Omega Speedmaster.